Hello student, welcome to my new class. Today's chapter is reproduction of animals. So this is new chapter, chapter number 9. Reproduction of animals. Reproduction is one of the most important characteristic features of living organisms. Life would not exist on Earth if plants and animals did not reproduce to make young ones to their kind. So, by reproducing, a living organism can reproduce more of their kinds. They produce so that their type do not die out. So we are product of our parents. So you are product of your parents. So reproduction is we are making our own types of organisms. So our parents are reproduced us, and we have to reproduce our next generation. So this is the same process. So reproduction is the process where the organisms makes their own kinds of product. So how animals reproduce? So animals can be represented into two groups: those which give birth to their young ones, and those which lay eggs and eventually hatch into young babies. Those animals which give birth to their babies are called leaf-bearing or viviparous. Those animals which lay eggs are called egg-laying and oviparous. So some animals are producing eggs. So then eggs are containing one sperm. Little animals are there, but after some time the eggs are break and the animals will be out. So but for our case, we directly produced the baby, our next young one. So egg-laying animals. Insects, birds, reptiles, butterfly, frog and fish are some animals that lay eggs. The young ones of these animals come out after hatching and look like their parents. So egg structure. Eggs are made up of 5 major parts. Egg cell means the thick part, means the hard parts of the barrier of egg. An egg is covered with hard shell called egg shell. The shell of the egg is rigid but brittle and protects the contents of the eggs. The shell make up 11% of the weight of the entire egg. So 11% of weight of entire egg is containing by egg cell. So egg cells shape the content of the eggs from the hard thing from outside. Cell membranes. The cell membranes is a thin semi-permeable membranes made up of two layers, the inner and outer. After the egg is laid, it contains cool and shrink. The air cell at the large end of the egg is formed during this shrinkage by the separation of the two membranes. Yolk. The yolk makes up 31% of the total egg weight and consists of water, fat and proteins as well as vitamins and minerals. egg white surroundings the yolk is the egg white. So white parts of the egg, which is the soft part, which is surrounded the yolk. Okay, so it's called albumin. It is clear jelly-like substance which makes up 58% of weight of the egg. So 58% of weight of the egg is containing by egg white. There are two layers in the egg white. A thick layer of white immediately surrounds and acts as a cushion for the egg. Air pocket. It is as it forms, the egg stays warm inside the hen. So after an egg is laid, it cools and the inner cell membranes pull away from the outer cell membranes at the blunt end of the egg, causing the air cell or pocket to form. Next, birds. So here the reproduction process of birds will be discussed. So all birds reproduce by laying eggs and with hard shell, and most build nest to protect the eggs from weather the predators. Adult birds almost always sit on the eggs to keep them warm until they hatch. The baby birds hatch out of the legs. It takes few weeks for their feathers to develop and for them to be big enough to fly, but they can swim after a few hours of their birth. So birds can swim after few hours of birth, and it takes some weeks to move out from the egg. Okay. Next, frog. Here the picture is given. You can see the systematic process. First egg will come, then the birds will come out from egg, then the birds will little bigger, then the birds will fly. The frogs lays egg in the water, and then the male releases sperm to fertilize them. The eggs will hatch within 3 to 25 days. Young frogs are called tadpoles and look more like little fish. Tadpoles survive mainly on algae.